welcome back to another video. This one's gonna be a pretty chill vlog of my evening riding routine. So recently in the winter with my work schedule and school and everything, the only time I have to go out to the barn is after I'm done working when it is dark outside. So I'm usually riding between like 6 and 8 p.m. when there's pretty much no one around. So I go outside and I put the arena lights on because they take quite a while to warm up, but once they're on, they are like football stadium lights, which is amazing. So while those get all warmed up, I just need to go get my pony. It's always the highlight of my day to go down at the end of the day and see her and get to spend time with her, and at the end of the day there's no time constraints because I don't have anywhere that I have to be, which is really, really nice. So we can just kind of enjoy our time and have a nice relaxing evening. So starting out, I'm just going to put her in the cross ties so I can give her a little groom. She always tries to grab a snack on the way there because she thinks she's absolutely starving, as you can tell. It's always quite quiet down at the barn when I'm down there because almost all the clients like to ride in the evenings, like to ride in the mornings, so it's only me riding in the evenings. So here I am just getting Cinnamon all brushed and ready. I gave her a good curry, a good brush off. I applied all her little coat conditioners, and here I am just working on braiding her mane. I try to braid her mane every other day, if not every day, just because it looks so crisp and clean when it's freshly done, and once it starts getting a little bit tired looking, it looks quite bad. And I try to keep her as kind of clean and nice looking as possible, although she is quite fluffy in this clip. I'm recording this voiceover a little while later and I have actually just clipped her, so keep an eye out for that clipping video, but she's looking much less fluffy now. But she does have some arthritis, so I try to keep her as warm as possible in the winter, and she's not in very heavy work at the moment, so she wasn't really in need of a clip at this point. So she is definitely looking quite fluffy, but regardless, I still like to keep her clean and looking a little bit more polished, and a nice clean braid definitely helps with that. Here she is, just being the cutest pony ever. Then it's time to just pick out her hooves. Just do that really quickly and apply a quick hoof conditioner. I've talked about this one before, but it's a sound hoof conditioner. It's amazing and incredible. I literally love it so much. And then just like that, it's time to start getting her dressed. So boots first, and then picking out my saddle pad for the day. I went for the Lamia Sage Green, and then just popping my saddle on and getting her all ready to go. And with that, it's time to get myself ready, so just popping my own boots on. And then my helmet as well, because safety first, no riding without a helmet, people. And then it's time to put her bridle on, so just giving her some kisses because that's mandatory, and then taking her halter off and putting her bridle on. She always loves to go for a little bit of a squirrel whenever she's completely free, so she likes to look around, sniff around, and try to bite the foam that's in that center railing there. It's not the best. Try not to let her eat that. Shouldn't be eating that, but she thoroughly enjoys herself. The bridle that she's wearing is an Equestrian bridle. It's kind of like their take on a Micklin bridle, and I absolutely love it, and it has some white fancy stitching on it, which I also love. She rode in a Micklin before that, but I love this anatomical bridle, and it's quite affordable. One more kiss for the road, and then it's time to mount up. As you can see, it's already so bright out there, and that is all coming from the arena lights. Like, these lights are insane. Which always surprises me that not more people ride at night, because we have such a great like arena situation to ride at night. It's just obviously the walk out there that is still quite dark. And on this particular day, I didn't have a ton of plans for our ride. She has not been feeling the best, so I just wanted to give her a light ride to kind of get a little bit of cardio in, because she does need to lose some weight from having Cushing's, and also build up her top line and her muscle again. So I started out doing quite a bit of walking that I didn't include in this to not bore you guys, but I always start out with at least 15 to 20 minutes of walking because it's so important for them. And then I just moved on to a little bit of trot work. I like to do a lot of bending lines in my warm-ups, so lots of serpentines, 3 loops, 4 loops, shallow serpentines, all those kinds of things. And then I fairly quickly move into canter with her, because of the issues she has with her arthritis and her hocks and her stifles. The canter is actually an easier gait for her, so it's a little bit easier for her to warm up over her back in the canter. So for actually quite a few laps, which I didn't show here, I just do a 2-point canter in either direction and just let her warm up and really just get forward and nice off of my leg. And then I bring her back down to the walk and let her catch her breath and think about suppling her and getting her a little bit more through her body. And then cantering the other way, again a little bit of 2-point canter, just so I can get off her back and so she can really like come through her back and bring her back up, as opposed to being a little bit braced through her back, which is her tendency. Also, I need to mention that in these clips we are both very out of shape, so my lower leg is not the most stable. That's the spooky corner that she just spooked at. But my lower leg's not the most stable, my core is not really there, and she's also quite weak. So, like I said, we're just doing a lot of really simple exercises to try to build both of our stamina and condition back up. And then this is where we realized we had a friend in the arena who had been following us. And there he goes, little coyote. He decided to come join our ride. It's quite funny because it was just him, like there was not another coyote, it was just the one, which is really weird. Normally they travel in packs, obviously. But yeah, he is just there staring at us. And I was like, okay, well, we chased him out of the arena, he's done. No, he decided to try and come back. So here he is coming back and us chasing him out of the arena again. And I think that was the final time he tried to get in the arena, and then he actually ended up sitting in the arena next to ours and just like watching us for almost our entire ride. So I guess he was a little curious. You can see him in the corner there. But anyways, I continued with my merry little ride. So we just had a little bit more of a trot around. Again, thinking about just keeping her nice and supple, but also trying to get her head a little bit more up and out. She likes to be very much on her forehand and curl behind the vertical a little bit too much. And obviously that's not what we want. That's not the correct kind of shape we want her to be in to build all the correct muscles. So just thinking about trying to get her head a little bit more up and out while she's still using her back. So that's kind of our main focus for this, and like I said, just suppling exercises. And same thing with the bending lines in the canter. I love doing serpentines in the canter, and you can either do transitions or you cannot. In this instance, I did do like simple changes through the trot over the center line, but it's also great for practicing counter canter to maintain the lead all the way through. That one I probably should have done a few more trot steps and actually established that, but oh well. And then her canter was feeling pretty good, and I just wanted to see and make sure her changes were still there. So I decided to come back in that serpentine and do it, but with changes this time. And she was very good. She just popped a nice little change either way. Especially considering we haven't really touched the changes in quite a long time. I was really, really, really happy with that. So then I just let her canter out a little bit more and give her lots of pats, obviously. And that was pretty much all we worked towards that day. I just let her trot out and cool down a little bit, but I was really, really pleased with her, and she's getting better and better about being able to be ridden at night. Obviously the first few times she was quite spooky because I hadn't done it in a while. I used to do it at my old barn when I would ride after school, but recently I've been riding in the morning or like in the afternoon. So she was quite good, and she's just getting better and better about being able to be ridden at night, which I love. So with that, it was time to call our ride a finish. I did let her walk around quite a bit after that last trout segment, but again, don't want to bore you guys. So with that, it's time to grab a snack for the road. She loves to eat the dried leaves, and turn out the arena lights. And with that, it's time to untack her and get her all ready to go to bed. And I'm really curious for you guys, what is your favorite time to ride during the day? Like, do you like to ride in the morning, afternoon, evening? I know everybody's schedules are different with work and school and whatever other obligations you might have. So I'm just curious, like, when's your guys' favorite time to ride? And let me know it in the comments down below, because like I said, I'm very curious. I feel like mine always rotates. Like, sometimes I love to ride in the evening, and sometimes I love to ride in the morning. I don't know, I feel like they both have their benefits. But here she is, just back in her stall, and then I give her a little snack every evening because she has had issues with ulcers in the past. So I also always give her like some sort of hay feeding between like 8 to 10 p.m. because at my barn their last feeding is 3 p.m., which is obviously really early. And I hate that she goes so long without another meal. So because I live on the same property as her, I come down in the evening and give her another little snack. But first I'm just putting her little blanket on. She always is ever so slightly grumpy about this. But she's very good about just putting her head through the hole and letting me put her little blankie on. And her hay also is soaked, that's why it's in the laundry basket outside of her stall, which just makes it a little bit easier for soaking purposes. And that's also for the Cushings, it helps quite a bit with that. And as you can see, she is not a very patient lady. She just wants her food right now. But I have this little Jolly Snack stall ball. I forget exactly what the name is, but it's like the hay version of the Jolly Ball. So it essentially just has like a bunch of holes in it that you just stuff it full of hay, and it makes it so it takes her a little bit longer to eat, which is good because if I don't put this in, she inhales it. And just like that, she is all ready for bed. So I'm just going to give this to her and call it a night. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.